Okay, so I think it sort of got quiet, so maybe that's the time for me to say hello and to speak. I think I really know all of you, but if there's anybody in the audience who I don't know, Bob Stokes, I'm the director of the Galveston Bay Foundation, and I am certainly pleased and honored to welcome you to our inaugural Heron Society party. And I think Elena and Greg and Brandy have talked a little bit about the Heron Society, but essentially it's our biggest donors. And so look around the room, y'all have a lot in common. You know, love for the Bay, I think, is what underscores it all. And we certainly appreciate your support of the Galveston Bay Foundation. That's really what tonight is all about. So I also wanted to thank Peggy Kostrel, who's probably hiding somewhere. Where's Peggy? Where is Peggy? Well, she's our gracious host. She's a personal friend of Macy and mine, and has been a friend of the Galveston Bay Foundation, and she loves to open her home for us, and we just want to say thank you to Peggy. I want to introduce you to some folks with the Galveston Bay Foundation. I know you, Greg Lucien is here in the back, our Director of Development, Elena Oglesby, who put together the Heron Society. Brandy is here from our events, and if you've been to the luncheon, you know Brandy. But we also have some program people here. Sarah Gossett runs our water program now. Her team were sort of our first responders after Harvey. Her volunteer water quality monitors were out there within a week of the storm, so thank you, Sarah, for all that you've worked on. And then Cindy Willems is our operations manager for our education team these days, and is responsible for our special guest here, who I'm about to introduce. But Cindy joined our education team within the last 5 months at this point in time. She comes from Dobie High School, and for those of you who've been GBF supporters for a while, you know that we give Cindy an award as the Educator of the Year, or Citizen of the Year, a couple years ago for all the work she'd done at Dobie High School. So we're just really pleased to get Cindy on staff, so thank you, Cindy. So I want to give a little plug. We had some support for this event tonight from the Land Trust Alliance. They've been, I won't get into too much detail, but they've given us some funding to really work on some of our development efforts, and this is part of it, and the Heron Society is part of it, so just wanted to give them a quick plug and let you know that they help support our efforts tonight. And so beyond that, we thought it'd be fun to invite sort of a special guest. You know, you sort of put it, and I don't want to, Austin wants to get speaking really quickly, but we wanted to kind of make some of our program stuff real. And we work our education program, and Cindy could probably tell you a lot about for many minutes, many hours, many seconds. No, it's deeper than that. No, so we do this program called Get Hip to Habitat, and I'll let Austin tell you about it. But essentially, we work with middle school and high school kids and try to get them a bay experience, and that bay experience is harvesting and growing marsh grass, and then ultimately transplanting it into the bay. And a lot of these kids live near the bay. They haven't had a lot of experience with the bay. And I'm just going to let Austin talk about it a little bit, because we're excited to have Austin. He's a former program participant 5 or 6 years ago at Dobie High School, and knows Cindy. Now is about to graduate from Texas A&M Galveston. So I will let him put into words his experience with Get Hip to Habit. So thank you so much for being here, Austin.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for having me out. Thank you all for coming out. And thank you for allowing me to share my experience. My name's Austin. I was in high school under the mentorship of Miss Cindy Willems. Gracious teacher, super informative, super fun, and she did a great job in breaking down what life around the Bay is to high school students. One of the ways she did that was with the Hip to Habitat program. So we went out to some NRG facility, I couldn't remember where.
Cedar Bayou Eco Center.
Mm-hmm. We went out there and we put on mud boots, got nice and dirty, and went and plucked it right out the ground, put it in some buckets, took it to our school, put it in kiddie pools, and grew it from what were little stalks at the time to lush, thick kiddie pools full of cordgrass. And so at the end of the school year, we went out and we went to Anahuac, the Sullivan property, and we went out and helped restore the shoreline there. We put, not we, the students, but Galveston Bay Foundation went out and put a wave breaker of oyster shells, which allowed the cordgrass to propagate in the area behind it. That was my first experience with Galveston Bay Foundation. Throughout the school year, I went out with the Trash Bash and later on Marsh Mania, which is similar minus the plucking and growing.
And growing, yeah, that's right. Just the planting.
Just the planting. But after high school, I went on to continue to volunteer with Galveston Bay Foundation. I ended up doing the crab trap retrieval in Anahuac as well. At the time, after high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do at all, one single bit. I initially wanted to do automotive technology. I was top of my class in the automotive technology class. I went to Skills USA competition for automotive technology, and I had an internship, realized that was not my thing. I didn't like always having oil and gunk underneath my fingernails, and I didn't like coming home super duper smelly every single day. It's a little bit more fun. And I don't have to be underneath the car the whole time, so it's a little bit less hot. So I went to community college, tried to figure out what I wanted to do. I kept on volunteering with Galveston Bay Foundation. I realized that the feeling that I got whenever I was actually out working in the field, you know, doing these things and watching how it would change the bay after the fact, gave me a sense of fulfillment I didn't feel anywhere else. So I went on to pursue this career path in marine biology at Texas A&M Galveston. I'm graduating this summer with a major in marine biology and a minor in diving technology. And right now, currently, I'm working on an undergraduate research project with Dr. Quigg in the Phytoplankton Dynamics Laboratory. We're studying the effects of the Deepwater Horizon spill on phytoplankton and the microbial communities and the subsequent communities that feed off of them. Yes, it's quite a change. And currently, my future ambitions after graduation, I would either like to continue working with GBF, Texas Parks and Wildlife, or one of the things I'd really like to invest myself into is the study of aquaponics. It's the hybridization of hydroponics, where you're growing plants in a soilless medium, which is just water, and the process of fish farming. And you can combine the two to feed off of each other. The nutrients that the fish put out can in turn be absorbed by the plants, and you save a lot of water and a lot of fertilizer, and it could really help, I feel, our communities and our need for food. Because after the hurricane, a lot of crops could have been wiped out easily with the amount of floods that we had. And I feel that with a system where we can grow both in a large facility above ground, highly above ground, that we can maintain a consistent food source for everyone. And
listen, so that is an amazing story. Thank you. And so let's give him a big round of applause. We were sort of brainstorming about what we might like to talk about tonight, and came up with lots of ideas, and we said, you know, how about bringing a student back? We said, we're really going to have to find the right student to make that work. You know, somebody who's you know, not just ambitious, not who went through the program, but sort of fearless too. So thank you for being here, Austin, and thank you, Cindy, for putting us in touch. So,
one last thing. Yeah. I want to thank all of y'all for donating and making this change in my life, of course, because had I not experienced the Hip to Habitat program or any of the volunteering opportunities after the fact, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. So I want to thank all of you for changing my life.
So, yeah, Austin, thank you so much. I mean, you know, obviously not all of our stories are dramatic or as dramatic as we work with a lot of kids, and sometimes, you know, we never hear from them again. But there are... Well, and yes. Cindy's going to change that. But I'll tell you one other really cool story. Also, Cindy is the source here. I think is it a current student or also a former student who walked her family through?
Former student.
Okay, another former student who, when she started Get Hip to Habitat, was really terrified of the water. Just like hadn't been in the water, around the water, very hesitant to get in the water. During Get Hip to Habitat, the initial, get your foot in the water and get wet and muddy, sort of got used to it and went through the program, grew the grass at her school, got to the point where she was comfortable getting back in the water and transplanting it. And this is a true story, I promise you. Reported back to us after Hurricane Harvey that she was in a home with her mom and her grandmom and maybe more family members, and the home started to flood. And she was confident enough from her experience with Get Hip to Habitat to walk her family out of the home. No one else had any idea what to do. They were also scared of the water, and she walked them all to safety. And so, that's not what we're aiming for when we put kids in Get Hip to Habitat. But there are, just great confidence building benefits to getting kids out and doing these things.
They break down the barriers. They aren't scared anymore, which is just the most amazing thing. And the teacher that you see from the very beginning of the year to the end of the year. And yeah, I mean, with that one student, with all of my students, I tried to contact them after the hurricane to see, how they were doing, and that story was just, that feeling in your heart, you're like, okay, I didn't change her life or, her career, but I helped her family, get out and be safe.
Yeah, really neat, really neat. So anyway, we decided to focus on our education stuff tonight, but we've got other programs that many of you are familiar with, our conservation programs, our oyster shell programs, our land conservation programs. There's a lot of different things that we appreciate you supporting, and different people have different interests. I will say this, we continue to try to build these things, and in responding to Hurricane Harvey, there's a lot of needs that we're responding to, and so your support of the Galveston Bay Foundation helps us do this. So I want you to go back to the party and have a ton of fun. We still have, 45 minutes at least with the blue bar open. Peggy might even pop her head in here and be acknowledged. There she is, there she is. Thank you, Peggy. But again, just thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of GBF. You are our core. We've really emphasized, for years we worked with corporations and foundations, but we just didn't work hard enough with our individual donors, and we're trying to change that, and you guys are our core. So thank you very much. You provide such a significant amount of funding to allow us to do these things, and I just want to say thank you. So go back and have fun, and know that you are appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you for many years. So thank you.